All right, everybody. Hey, we'll get rocking and rolling this Monday night. Thank you all for joining us here on the Monday Note. Looks like it's the actually our largest RSVP of the last 90 days, which is always great, which tells me you guys love it when we break down deals. So we may make a few changes to our Note Funding League breakdowns. Instead of doing them at noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, may end up pushing some of them to the evenings for you guys to be able to attend as we dive into the assets and get rocking and rolling along with you guys, everybody. Hopefully you can see our webcams on here. We've got our guest, Joel, out there as well. But before we do, if you guys are looking to be in here for the Monday Note, you're at the right spot. If you're looking for something else, you're in the wrong spot, okay? No offense, if you did RSVP a couple times, it would only allow us to see one of those. So not a problem, Grant. If you RSVP 3 times, it's not going to recognize you. I look at who registers and actually who attends, and usually there's about a 65% attendance ratio versus those that RSVP. So, and based on the numbers we've got right now, it looks like it's going to be the top 2 or 3 for the last 90 days, which is great. So, anyway, you're here for the Monday Note. As we label this webinar called the Note Bunch. We'll get a little bit more of that there in a few minutes, but we have a lot of people that are joining us for the first time based on posts and questions and things like that. So who is on the Monday Note? We have a variety of people. We have real estate investors, people that are looking to get into the note business. We've got note investors, existing note investors. We also have people that are looking to get into notes for the first time. What is a note deal? Looking to purchase their first note deal. Okay? These calls are recorded. I have hit the record button. We do upload these almost immediately afterwards onto Vimeo or onto YouTube as well. The video replays are available at vimeo.com/WeCloseNotes for any of those that have to bug on out after 30 minutes or an hour or so like that. You'll be able to catch the replays on that stuff. Okay? Totally want you guys to connect with me online. If you're not already connected with me on a variety of social media, please do so. Take a second or two to do that. Joel, can you guys be a little quieter in your end, please, right now? So
yes.
Go ahead and mute yourself if you don't mind. So because I'm getting all their feedback. You can connect me at one Scott Carson on either Facebook, Instagram, or the Tweety Bird. We do still use the Tweeter. Or you can find us at We Close Notes on YouTube or Vimeo by just searching for We Close Notes. You'll come across our page. Go ahead and connect. Go ahead and like those. Go ahead and become followers so that you're updated with any time we upload a video, especially on the YouTube and the Vimeo channels for you guys. About 800-plus videos for you to take advantage of. And just so you guys know, we do have our upcoming events. We have our next Fast Track training here in Austin, our 3 days of really one-on-one hand-holding for those that are really want to take their note business to a whole different level. Less than 3 weeks out to it. It is totally customized to whatever your needs are as a note investor. You can see that smiling, the picture of the smiling faces there of my marketing minion staff and the people that attended. We had a great group this last time. Lisa, Chris, Larry, Joe, Jamie, Carl, Daryl's a mastermind who's been around for a while, came in for refreshing some stuff. But we literally customize it to wherever your struggles are in the note business. If you need help with sourcing, we'll help you spend time with the asset managers. If you need help with systems, we'll do that. If you need help with raising capital, if you need help with your marketing, we bring in Chase Thompson to hang out for a day with us as well to help out with that as well. Like I said, small group. We keep it to usually 10 investors or less. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this last time. The next one, we do have reserved assets for you to bid on. That's the beautiful thing. We actually provide tapes, and our Fast Track Training and Mastermind members always get the first crack at assets as well. Our next spot here is March 24th, 25th, 26th. We only have 2 spots available. It's good for you and a partner, you and a spouse. Like I said, go through a variety of things to help you customize your business. Along with a Fast Track Training, you also get a 1-year membership in our Note Mastermind group, and the cost for this is $89.97 per year. Like I said, it's for you plus a partner. There's some other bonuses that come along with that, but if you're interested in that, drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com. We'll be glad to get on the phone and talk a little bit more about it and what goes into it. And we also do have some payment plans for it. But why am I bringing up the Fast Track Training? Well, because if I were to bring up the next slide first, you'd be like, well, how do you get in the mastermind? Well, our next Note Mastermind, Yeah! Is literally 31 days out. I'm so excited. Our mastermind events that we have 3 times a year are always my favorite time to spend with our existing mastermind students. And our next one's going to be here in our hometown, Austin. You can have a lot of fun and get in a lot of trouble here in Austin if you don't watch out. But it's April 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll probably have right at 50, 60 of our mastermind members join us. We had 80 in Orlando in December. Just really jacked up. We got some really cool things coming in. We've got some great speakers coming in to talk about and help our mastermind members with our businesses. We got some great social media stuff. I got some great little tomfoolery stuff. I'm going to kind of shake up the mastermind a little bit. I think people will be pretty excited about some of the things we'll be talking about. We'll be downtown, 6th Street, so you can have plenty of time. Friday night, we got a special event planned. Everybody have a good time and go out, have some laughs and network. And then Saturday night's kind of an open night for people to go out and do whatever they want to. And then Sunday we'll wrap up probably around 3, 4 o'clock so people have an opportunity to catch an early flight home and wherever they're flying in from California to the East Coast. So the awesome mastermind, you cannot sign up for the mastermind without going through a fast track. We do not let anybody into the mastermind. You've got to go through some training to make sure that you're on the right path to success in your note business. So if you're interested, like I said, drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com, and I'll be glad to spend some time with you as well. And yeah, I see you on there. Jerry will be talking later tomorrow. Be glad to answer any questions you have regarding what you need. So, all right, let's move on. Just over, well, we're right at 45 days and counting out to our next Note Camp 3.0. If you're brand new to note investing, Note Camp probably would be the best place for you really to get your feet wet and kind of figure out what is all about this whole note thing. So our Note Camp is an online note convention. It's focused on content, actions, marketing, and profit-generating ideas and nuggets to help you in your note business. This will be the 3rd time we've had it. Great. Previous 2 experiences have been amazing. Lots of great people. We expect over 500 attendees this time around. We'll have 30-plus speakers. Speakers will be some of the educators out there. We'll also have some vendors, and we'll also be bringing on some successful students who are closing 20 deals their first year, 100 deals in their first 18 months. And some of the people are closing hundreds of deals and totally changing their lives, but also their family lives and also a lot of the borrowers out there for helping them create win-win scenarios. Every seat is a VIP and a front row seat because they allow you to be able to actually watch and engage with the speakers one-on-one. As you have questions, you can ask those. It is recorded as well, so if you can't make it for all 3.5 days, because we get started at noon on Thursday, don't worry. We know there's a lot of content. We usually have 2 speakers going at the same time, so you can enjoy one and understand, hey, you can catch the replays of the speakers you missed a couple days later. We also throw everybody into a Basecamp group, which is a great portal. Really gets people engaging with questions before, during, and after. A lot of networking takes place there. A lot of people really use Basecamp to really expand their business. Just a dialogue, the questions and answers that are well worth being a part of that. Everyone gets the database. This is one of the great things I think that the speakers and the vendors love is that they don't have to spend $5,000 to travel across country to maybe get people to put their business cards. Everybody gets the database. If you sign up, you get the list of everybody's names and emails so you can reach out to people after the event. You can expand your business without all the headaches, without running around trying to collect business cards. We'll help you engage it so you can spend more time listening to content and really absorbing more information for your business. Pricing is $297. That's early bird pricing. It's not extra early bird, but it is the early bird pricing. And that ends in 24 days. $297 pricing for that, guys and gals. You want to take advantage of that? That's per individual. It's not good for you and a spouse or you and a business partner. Now, this is delivered all online. If you and your business partner, you and your spouse in the same room, you'll be able to watch it from your home, your office, the beach, wherever. Some people watch while they're driving across the country, which is kind of funny. But you can get signed up at notecamp.live. Notecamp.live is the website. And you'll see some of our existing speakers and some of our previous speakers as well. We're updating that every day with new content, new sponsors. And so excited about this, guys. This is something that's kind of revolutionizing the business. We truly believe. And it's amazing seeing we had 435 last time in October. That's why we expect 500 this time around. We're already at 135 attendees already signed up for No Camp 3.0. So mark your calendars. Get your ticket now before it goes up to $397, everybody. All right? All right. Let's dive into here. Got any questions about any of these things here? No questions? No questions? Good. Awesome. You guys want to get to the deals, right? Let's get to the Note Bunch. And I was going to do the Brady Bunch logo song, but decided against it. So, anyway, some ground rules for the stuff that you see here tonight. And should you choose, want to make some offers of stuff, okay? We only want to deal with buyers direct. Don't go out and find a broker, try to broker these deals to somebody else. You're not going to close it. Okay? We only want to deal if you're buying for your own portfolio. Not, oh, I got a friend of a friend that wants to buy this. No, it doesn't work that way. If you want to make an offer, great. We'll have you submit an offer either in a day or two. Hopefully ASAP. Highest and best. If you can fund at the reserve price that we'll talk about tonight, great. Let us know, and we'll get the due diligence documents sent over to you for those that are the highest accepted offers. Like I said, we've got BPOs, ONEs pulled for each asset. We even have the man, the myth, the legend on here talk about some of these assets on a one-on-one basis should you have questions. You can submit bids directly to Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. Now, we'd like to have your bids in by Wednesday at noon. Mark that down. Wednesday at noon. So don't sit around with your thumb up your butt. You want to get around and take action, get your bids in before they get gobbled up beforehand. All right? Like I said, no joker brokers. All right? Now, we find anybody out there that sends a list out, takes the list and blasts it out to their database, you will get blacklisted. You will never be able to bid on another asset. If they focus on it, we're just going to go ahead and kick you out of the database and block you from ever being a part of it. Okay? Like I say, no blast emails. Don't send it out to your database. Oh, I got a deal. You know, somebody wants to buy this. No, you need to be the direct buyer buying for your own portfolio. Okay? Like I said, you will be blacklisted and removed if you don't. If you don't have the list, if you're not already signed up, like 475 people are signed up ready to get the list, relax. Just drop me an email at Scott@WeCloseNotes. We'll make sure and get the spreadsheet over to you. I've tried to share it already on here a couple of times as a handout, and it does not like the news. GoToWebinar's got some new changes to it. I think it only wants a PDF. It does not like it uploading a spreadsheet to it. So don't worry if you don't have it. Just drop me an email at Scott@WeCloseNotes.com, and I'll be glad to email you the spreadsheet out after we wrap up tonight. All right? I hope that covers everything. Yes, don't be a joker broker. You don't want to be a joker broker. Don't get on my bad side, everybody. All right? Also, if you've never taken a workshop on note investing, don't bother bidding. Okay? Don't waste our time with a million questions when you should be already educated before making an offer. You will get blacklisted that way as well. We won't do that. Also, one other thing, too. If you submit an offering, you're the highest accepted offering, and we call you on that, you will have to pay a deposit of $500. That's to secure your bid. Make sure you're serious. We've had too many people submit bids and then back out for no apparent reason, and we're not playing that game anymore. And that $500 is totally, it gets credited towards your purchase price. So don't worry about it. Now, the only thing that would cause you to back out is if there's something popped up the ONE, which there shouldn't be, because you've got really no excuses for that. So that $500 secures it, goes towards your closing amount, and you go from there. So, all right, everybody. So our special guest tonight, if you got your webcam up there, you can see, is the head of business development with JH Mortgage. He also works with the law office of Daniel Singer. As I like to say, he is a special servicing wizard. He's known as the connector in the note industry. He's our good buddy, Joel Markovtz. Joel, are you still there, bud? Now would be the time to unmute yourself. Hello? Hang on here.
Hello?
There he is. Hi, Sunshine.
Good afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at.
Hey, good morning in some parts of the world, because people watch these from all across the world, actually.
Well, then, good morning, of course.
Well, glad to have you, man. How's your Monday been there in California?
Good. You know, it's a sunny day. It's still sunny, which is kind of, you know, the time is starting to change, so it's good, and shedding a lot of light on opportunities, and I think people's attitudes go with it, so I'm looking forward to what the spring and summer brings for everything.
Right. Now, before we start pulling these assets individually, you want to give a little feedback on where these assets are. And, I mean, you guys actually own these assets and manage these, correct?
That is correct. All these assets are in our portfolio. They are managed through the law offices of Daniel Singer. All of the assets where we have complete collateral files, everything from the note, the mortgage, the O&E report, the BPOs, demand letters, things of that nature. Are probably each file has, I'm going to guess, 70 different pages of documents there that are not associated just with the note or the mortgage. So there's a lot of stuff to go through there. And so, I think there's a lot of data there to make decisions and to evaluate them properly. One of the things that I can say about this portfolio is that all the assets, have a defined exit strategy. In particular, we have one in Louisiana, short foreclosure state, one in Oklahoma. We have two in Illinois that are one is reperforming. We have one in Springfield, Massachusetts that is a case where you want to foreclose. Two in Indiana, one in Anderson, one in Marion. One in Anderson is right near Anderson University, potential good rental. And there's another one in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, which is a nice city in Pennsylvania. One in Bessemer, Alabama, which is just reperforming. They're on a 6-month PPP plan.
So why don't we do this, Joel? Why don't we do this? So you're going through all 11 of them. Let's do it one at a time versus instead of repeating yourself. Is that all right?
Fair enough. No problem.
Fair enough. For our friends that are celebrating waking up a little early in Australia to join us, hi, Peter. Good to see you. Somebody asked on here if we would share afterwards what the pricing on some of these went for to help out with the pricing and to learn. Yeah, reality is if you'll reach out to me afterwards, we can let you know what these things sold for. And yes, Dan Moran, there are complete assignment and launch chains. We would not expect anything less from the law office of Daniel Singer and Joel Markovtz.
No, absolutely. And as far as assignments and things of that nature, our PSA reps and warrants that you will have a complete change.
Yeah, for those that don't know, PSA is it's basically a loan sale agreement. All right, so there's reps and warranties that ensure that there. All right, so let's do this. Let's dive into the assets here. So the first one is the one in Louisiana you're talking about, 2514 North Day Drive in Baker, Louisiana. Based on the comments, you guys have moved this to foreclosure. Is that correct, Joel?
That is correct. It is in foreclosure.
And you've got a field visit ordered for somebody to go out there and walk the property, see what kind of condition it's in?
We have, and we believe that it is occupied. We have, last visit we had, there was occupancy and vehicles in the driveway. Okay.
All right. The unpaid balance on this one is $106,000, almost $107,000. That's not including rearages, everybody. Current BPO that you guys pulled was $95K, Joel.
That is correct.
Your reserve price on this is $62,648, which is basically at 66% of investment to value. Now, you guys move this to foreclosure. What's the foreclosure time frame you're expecting in Louisiana?
Louisiana, it's a little bit shorter. You're looking at about anywhere between 120 and 150 days. This one's already down the pipe a little bit, so it'll be on the shorter end of that spectrum. Okay.
All right. So you're talking basically roughly about 60 to 90 days to wrap up the foreclosure, right?
Correct. And we, as I mentioned earlier, complete change, so there's not going to be any delays as far as the foreclosure is going to be concerned.
Right. And at 66% investment value, that leaves a lot of meat on the bone there for somebody to sell it as an REO, or keep it as a rental too, if they need be.
Correct. And one thing to point out, Baker is just outside. There's a Air Force base just in the area also. So there's opportunity there as far as a rental and things of that nature.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Why is the seller selling them? We got a question. Why are you guys selling these?
We'll take a certain portion of every portfolio, and some will retain, some will sell. It was just time to just time to move through some of the portfolio.
Yep, just time to move it and recapture a bit some of your stuff and say, this happens all the time. Every buyer will actually usually sell a portion of the portfolio from time to recoup some of their expenses to have money available for other assets. Correct, Joel?
That's exactly it.
Cool. Let's see here. Can you explain the lender doc type? James, that just means that the lender doc type, when this loan was originated, it was either a full document where they really checked the borrower's everything with that aspect on it. So it's that lender doc type is not really paramount to any type of foreclosure process or anything like that. Okay? Just all right. Bruce asked, do you know if the taxes are current, Joel?
Taxes are current through 2016.
Nice. And I have a question from Keith. What base? I don't know, dude. Google it. There's a little thing for you you can use to find questions answered. What base? I don't know. Check what military base is near Baker, Louisiana.
I will give you a shot at that. I'll do it as we're talking. I'll take a look here.
There we go. All right, well, look at that. All right.
It's by the way, Baker's a suburb of Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Okay. All right. Got a question here. What sort of cost should we expect for foreclosure left over on this?
Generally, as a rule of thumb, Scott, I think we talk about in a non-judicial state, we suggest $3,000 for foreclosure. In a judicial state, we suggest allotting $5,000. So it's going to be, this is a non-judicial, so it'll be somewhere. I'm going to be at this point. It's a guess. I'd have to look it up. It's between $2,000 and $3,000.
Yep.
And the nice thing about it's a milestone foreclosure, so it's paid in increments. Yep. So and one of the things I think it's always important to factor and remember is that just because you file for foreclosure doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it will take place. A lot of times we have seen, and we had a portfolio itself where the lion's share of it, once we filed foreclosure, we started getting modifications and settlements because of the foreclosure being initiated.
Yeah. Let me ask, what does PP stand for? PP stands for purchase price. So you can pick this up at just under $62,650, everybody, which is at 66% of the BPO on that aspect of it. All right. So there you go. That one's Baker, Louisiana. Want to make an offer on that? Submit your offering to Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com, everybody. Make sure you have your bid there along with a full address and your email address. So let's move on. All right. If we purchase the asset, can we just keep it with you, Joel?
Absolutely. We would welcome the opportunity. And any assets that are purchased, we will waive any boarding fees for the law firm of Daniel Singer.
There you go. Saved you some money there. Good question, Lisa. This one in CHECOTAH, Oklahoma. Route 3, Box 1575. This one's an interesting little asset. Let's see here. Yeah. Foreclosure has already been initiated by you guys, but the borrower is showing interest in a modification. Want to talk about that, Joel?
Yeah, we've had some conversations with her. She's back and forth on a modification, so there is interest in her staying in the property. One of the challenges I think on this asset is the borrower's communication with the borrower in transparency is a little bit sporadic. That's why we've initiated foreclosure. A lot of times the initiation of foreclosure helps straighten out a borrower's perspective on what they're going to do.
Like either take action or get off the pot. So. Yes,
that's a polite way of saying
it. That's my politically correct way of not cussing.
Very nice.
I'm trying, man. Trying. BP on this one's $82,000. The UPB is of $103,120. Existing payment is $286.73. Obviously, she's had it modded before, probably. Was this a HEMP mod beforehand, Joel? Do you know?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to apologize for the photos on here. Most of these guys, my staff pulled the photos prior to getting the actual BPO links from Joel. So most of these photos were pulled a few days back before we actually got the BPOs. That's my fault. So, but for the most part, they're pretty clean photos anyway online, which is great. So.
Yeah, well, I think the one of the assets further down, the photo is absolutely beautiful. I think the one in Marion, Indiana, with the snow. I'm like, wow, that's something you see on a postcard.
It is. I did went ahead and pulled the photo from the BPO on that one, though.
Okay.
So there you see what it looks. So you see both of them.
Okay.
Unpaid balance on this one's 103. BPO of 82,000. Picked this one up at 53,422. Oklahoma is a relatively faster foreclosure state too, correct, Joel?
It is.
So I picked this up at 65% of investment to value, which is pretty normal for a faster foreclosure state and an asset being in the $82,000 range. So Jennifer asked a question here. If someone can't pay $300 a month, is it likely that another mod will solve the problem?
Is that Jennifer McMurtry? Yeah.
It is Jennifer McMurtry, yes.
Yeah. Well, she's very astute.
She is very astute. And we agree, Jennifer, if the mod isn't going to help this lady if she's not paying $300 a month. I totally agree with you. That's why the foreclosure's been an issue, Eddie, because they're not sitting around waiting around for her to get off the pot to take some action. So
no, this is not like wine. The idea is that there has to be a sense of urgency to resolve the delinquency, and so therefore that's moving to foreclosure and spur it. Either you're going to get on board or you're not.
Yeah, exactly. You're either going to do what we say or you're going to do what we say. Then move on. So cool, guys. Once again, make an offer to Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com if you're interested in this one. 65% in Oklahoma. All right, moving on to the next asset. This one's in Homewood, Illinois, 17818 Cherrywood Lane. Not a bad-looking little property there.
No, not at all. Actually, being from the Chicago area, I grew up there. I actually think that this is, considering a lot of the assets that we do end up seeing, this is one of the nicest ones I've seen in Illinois, especially in this price range.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the borrower's already completed a trial payment plan and can move to a full mod. Is that correct, Joel?
That is correct.
And you want to talk about a little bit of a difference between a trial payment plan and a permanent mod so people have an idea?
Sure. And one of the things that we do through the firm, what we believe in protecting our investors in the way that if we put together a trial payment plan or a TPP plan, that in essence, for lack of a better term, it trains the borrower that you have, in order to get a permanent modification, you're going to have to make your payments. You're going to have to make the payments on time. And in essence, it has instructive value that if you don't, then there's obviously going to be some ramification, and that is going to be a foreclosure. That's we're going to move forward with. So in the case of a TPP, we want to make sure that what you say you're going to do, you're going to do. Once you have earned that right, and generally we like to do it for 6 months. At that point in time, the benefit to the investor is, first of all, now we have 6 months worth of payments. So now you have a pay history, and then we can permanently modify them based upon the terms that fit best for each asset.
There you go. Perfect. They're current on all their stuff. UPB of $264,000. That's not the full payoff amount.
No, but I verified that number earlier this afternoon.
Okay. BPO of $147,000. This is a nice looking house. Purchase price on this one is at $95,000. And then it's a 65% investment of value. Based on that purchase price and the terms of the mod, they yield a 14% ROI. Is that correct, Joel?
14% yield, yes.
So not bad. Not bad. You got a lazy asset. IRA's not making any money. So.
Yeah, I had someone come up to me this weekend, and they were saying that they were getting, I think, 6% in their IRA, and they were looking at notes. And I said, well, what are your expectations? Well, if I can get 12%, I'd be very happy. And I quite honestly said to them, you should be able to get 12 plus, not just thinking you're going to get 12 on a reperforming, on a reperforming loan. In a note, you should expect on a first to get anywhere between 13 to 15%. But it's important to understand on your exit on this one and on any reperforming loan, is just because it doesn't mean that you have to carry it for the full term of 30 years. You can season it for 12 months and turn around, and if you're buying it at X and then you can sell it at Y. So in this case in point, you're buying it at 65%. You can turn around and sell it in a year with 12 months payment, and even more so if you had 18 or 24 payments. You could probably sell it at 75, 76%, depending on where the market is at the time. So not just getting your yield, but you get the little bump on the appreciation of the asset.
Yeah, you're getting a 15% return plus somewhere around $15,000 to $25,000 on the note sale in profit. So yeah, good stuff there. That's a good yield when you start annualizing that out, having that big bump on the end. So there you go. 17818 Cherrywood Lane, Homewood, Illinois. Everybody, want to make an offer at $95. Get your email into Jennifer at We Close Notes. So you got any questions here? We got a question here from Jennifer again. Can you explain corporate advance? What does that mean?
Corporate advances, it could be a variety of different things. It could be advancing of property taxes. It could be for insurance premiums. It could be other escrow amounts, things of that nature. So in essence, those are all recoverable costs from the lender, from the borrower to the lender.
Yep. All right. Moving on here.
Oh, and one other important thing, it does not include arrearages. That's just corporate advances.
Right, not back payments. It's just what you guys have. If you were the lender, we would have paid to either protect the asset with insurance, or paying the taxes of what if we're going to tax foreclosure, basically. So, no, Kelly, these are not being listed on any other website, correct, Joel?
That is correct.
Yeah. All right. Other questions? All right, here's one in Harvard, Illinois. This one is a nice-looking house. It's a deed in lieu or foreclosure, vacant property, UPB of $110,000, just over that. BPU of $96,000. You want to talk a little about this, Joel?
Yeah. Harvard, Illinois is a suburb downstate, a little bit outside of Chicago. Just to kind of give you some perspective, it's east of Chicago, between Chicago and Rockford. Okay.
It's a great area.
It's a nice, it's a nice area. There is there isn't a negative population growth in the area. There's, you have a lot of retailers. You do have, all the big chains. You have a Walmart. You have a Home Depot. You have True Value actually has a distribution center in Harvard. So there is, employment there. It has a local airport also. The property itself is vacant. It was, I think that I believe it's a 3-bedroom asset. And as far as it's a deed in lieu foreclosure opportunity, but we've already started the foreclosure. Now, it's important to understand that we talk about. I hear a lot of people talking about, I don't want to buy a property in Illinois. This Harvard, Illinois is not in Cook County. It's in DuPage County.
Big difference.
Big difference on the foreclosure side.
Big difference than dealing with Cook County.
Yeah.
Couple questions there. Would corporate advances include utilities, Joel? And I said it could.
It could. It probably doesn't, but it could.
Right. And then if somebody wanted to figure the amount of arrearages, I told them just to take the date of the last payment, figure how many months that is between last payment and now, and multiply it times the monthly payment to figure the rough amount of the arrearages.
Roughly, yeah. And anybody that, if you move forward and we accept the bid, we'll provide you with a payoff and reinstatement figures, and you'll be able to see exactly what it is at that point.
Right. We got a question here. Mike, do you want to share how long you've owned these assets? You guys have owned these at different lengths?
On average, we've owned these for probably 4 months.
4 months, okay.
Some more, some, but yeah, in that neighborhood.
Right. Bruce has a question, what does this title look like for purpose of a deed in lieu? Look, if it's available, if they're thinking deed in lieu, it's going to have to be pretty clear title, Bruce. Let's not get into minuscule questions about everything here. That's kind of a common sense one. If they can go to a deed in lieu, everything is pretty much clear after the first lien. Right, Joel?
Well, yeah. Well, we'll do a deed in lieu, and in fact, it's interesting. We're completing a deed in lieu on Wednesday on a property, and it happens to be in Cook County, ironically enough. But before we would have the borrower execute a deed in lieu, we're going to run a title report, and we're going to make sure and get a title commitment to make sure that there is nothing lingering out there. Well, the last thing you ever want to do is execute on a deed in lieu, file it, and then realize you didn't clear title, and now all of a sudden you put yourself in a very bad position. So no, we dot our I's, we cross our T's, and making sure that there is no risk on the deed in lieu.
Exactly. Purchase price on this one is $61,480 on a BPO of $96,000. UPB is just, like I said, just over 110. Vacant property on this one, guys. So you basically pick this up at a 64% investment to value. You guys have already started the foreclosure process on that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, Illinois has one of those. If it's non-contested foreclosures, you can foreclose a little bit faster. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah. Similar to Florida, which has a fast track, and Jersey. So yes.
Exactly. All right. Any other questions on this one in Harvard, Illinois, everybody? 64% investment to value on this one. Clean property, it is vacant. That's why the deed in lieu would make sense on this aspect. All right, we will move on. This one in Springfield, Massachusetts. We don't see a lot of notes a lot of times up in the Boston area, the Massachusetts area. You know, no investing's a little harder up in that neck of the woods because we're busy eating chowder.
Yes, well, the interesting thing about Massachusetts is that, first of all, it's a commonwealth, and like Virginia, it's a non-judicial state.
So it's
Springfield, Massachusetts is the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Ah, did not know that there. Did not know that's where the Basketball Hall of Fame is. It's a good-looking house, though. Good brick house. You guys are in foreclosure, which is good to know. UPB of $181,500. UPB stands for unpaid principal balance. The BPO on this one's $120,000. Purchase price is at $77,000. So there's a $43,000 difference between the BPO and purchase price, which is a $64,000. Basically, it's a 64% investment to value on this one here. You got some definite room there. And you guys have already started foreclosure on this one, you said, Joel?
That is correct.
So there you
go.
No,
and in all transparency, this one has to be a foreclosure. There are a couple liens on it. So at one point in time, we did have a conversation with the borrower, and he wanted to do a deed in lieu, but we were unable to do so because of the lien. So that's where we moved to foreclosure. And again, the benefit of it, Massachusetts is a non-judicial state, so it does move quickly.
So you can still do a consent to judgment, though, to help speed that up too, though, correct?
You absolutely can.
Awesome. Let's see, got a question here from somebody. No, Bill, you're wrong. Massachusetts does not have a long foreclosure time frame. It's relatively short. Grant asks, is this one occupied? Do you know if it's occupied, Joel?
I believe it is vacant.
It's vacant. Okay. So awesome. That helps things out a little bit faster if they're no longer in a house for a consent to judgment. That's maybe why they were well and so happy to do a deed in lieu. They no longer live there. So
right.
Cool. All right. Oh, more questions popping up here. Does Massachusetts have a redemption time frame? Do you know, Joel?
I don't know. And not being an attorney, I would defer that to Daniel.
Okay. Pretty easy to check that too, guys. You could Google that. All right. All right. Moving on here. Like I said, you want to make an offer on this one, email the offering to Jennifer@WeCloseNotes.com, everybody. Jennifer@WeCloseNotes.com. Get your $77,000 bid in on a BP of $120 there for you. Nice chunk of change. Definitely an opportunity to make around 25+% on a foreclosure there for you, if not more. So, all right, this one is in Anderson, Indiana. People are licking their chops at this one. All right. So this one looks pretty good. Now, I've driven through Anderson. I like Anderson, Indiana. Foreclosures in process in this house.
It is, and
go ahead.
No, I was going to say Anderson's just north of Indianapolis. I actually have a friend of mine who lives in Indianapolis go by, and he said it is a nice property, and it's right near Anderson University, or Anderson College, excuse me.
Yeah, Anderson's just about an hour outside of Indianapolis. It's not that far. Mm-hmm. It's actually less if it's on driving on a Sunday morning.
Right.
Let's see here. UPB of 91.5. Great. We'll try to add the counties next time. Question Mark asks here is we had a question. Is the difference between the UPB and BPO used as soft leverage? Yeah, because the borrowers are going to owe more than the properties are worth. So there's not really any equity that the borrowers are going to fight you for there, Mark. So, you were going to say something, Joel?
No, I was going to say, I believe Anderson, Indiana, is in Madison County.
Right, there you go. Okay. This one, the UPB is 91.5, BPO of 125,000. So initially you would look at that and say, oh, there's some equity. Well, I went ahead and calculated the number of payments of that and took the number of months times the average monthly payment of this asset to figure out that there's 28,000 at least back payments. That's not including late fees, another 5% in there as well. So there's really no equity in this asset. Purchase price of $82,250 on this one. Do you know if this is occupied or vacant, Joel?
I believe it is occupied.
Okay, it's occupied. Okay, great. And Indiana's not too terribly long a state. What's nice is the eviction time frame in Indiana is pretty fast. Foreclosure 6 to 9 months in Indiana?
Yeah, it's a judicial state, so it does lumber along a little bit. But once you get to it, you're going to have this property, which is it's a nice little property. It's on a corner lot. You can't tell from this picture, but it is on a corner lot.
And you're pricing it appropriately at 66% with a BP of 125,000. I mean, that's at $82,000 there with a $43,000 difference between what's the purchase price and true BPO. You're giving people some room there to definitely still make some money on that stuff. 25, 30, if not more than that, depending on how friendly the borrower is, or if you can offer some cash for keys. Once you do foreclose, so they don't trash the property out, or cash for judgment, or consent to judgment, you know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Cool. Any other questions about this one in Anderson, Indiana? I know I've had 3 people text me about this one. Quit texting and submit an offering. Quit asking me questions and submit an offering. All right. Purchase price doesn't include BP, correct? I don't know what BP stands for, Eric. Back payments. No. Purchase price does not include back payments. Purchase price is what you would pay for this note and then finish the foreclosure. All right? Can we make offers on the properties? If you're making offers on the notes here, James, that would be enough of an answer there for you not to make an offer on those type of questions. You're buying the debt here, everybody, not the property. You're buying the note to become the bank and then foreclose. All right? Let's move on to the other one in the Hoosier State here, Marion, Indiana. Another one people texted me about. This is the postcard one from Rockefeller.
Yeah, isn't that a nice? That's a great picture. I don't know who, Jennifer or Nicole or Ryan who pulled that one, but that's a nice picture.
It was either Greg or Ryan in my office pulled that one, and I was like, "Good job, guys," because the picture from the BPO wasn't that exciting. I mean, it was okay, but when you think about it, oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's okay. So, not bad. Foreclosures in process on this one. Let's see here. UPB of 193,840. BPO of 108. Purchase price of 71,000. Everybody. So you got a lot of room there. 36 and some change. Mike asked the question: What are the dates of the BPO? Mike, if you got the spreadsheet sent to you, the date of the BPO is on the spreadsheet. So, do you know what the date of the BPOs were, Joel? August, September?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What were the dates of the BPOs?
I believe it was September.
September, okay. Cool. All right. So it looks like it's a different photo.
One of the things that's important to note that there is the total accrued debt It exceeds the UPB in this one, with late charges and arrearages and things of that nature.
Oh, well, yeah. We got the UPB's 193 and the BPO's 108. So they're way upside down.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, like 250 and some change in arrearages on this thing. Okay?
Right.
Purchase price on this one, $71,200 at 66% investment to value. You know what? You're right. Stephen, you're right. Somebody else said that doesn't look like the same asset. Maybe my staff is off a little bit because if you look at it, it looks like there might be a second-story connection on there. And it might not be the same property. My staff, as much as you bragged on them, may have gotten the wrong photo there with the house there, Joel. I think they might have did. Uh-oh.
Well,
this is the property. This is the property taken from the BPO, which is still not bad looking now.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to my staff. That's the second time they pulled a wrong photo onto this thing. So, that's all right. This is the actual BPO photo that I pulled tonight. All right. From those numbers. Still good looking property. It looks like it's on a big lot as well.
It is.
All right. 66% investment in buy foreclosure and process. You know this occupied or vacant, Joel?
I believe that it is occupied. The house itself, I believe, is 1,825 square feet. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath.
Yeah.
And it's on a half an acre, a little more than a half an acre.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Make an offer here, guys. $71,200. Get your offers into Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. All right. This one, I like the story behind this one. I'm sure there's a story you're going to tell about this one up in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, 125 Heather Road.
Yeah, Upper Darby. Upper Darby is a nice area in Pennsylvania. I've seen quite a few assets over the years in Upper Darby. The values seem to hold really well up there. The borrower himself, they paid $5,000 to reinstate, and then they missed the first payment. So, they paid $5,000 to stay there. So I believe that there's a want and desire in which to retain the property itself. We think really you probably want to look at doing a door knock out there and get a good sense of what's going on with the borrowers.
Right. Existing payments $472.27 a month, everybody. UPB of $158,280. BPO of $87,500. Purchase price in this one is at $54,000, which is at 62% of investment to value. So if you have to foreclose, you've got plenty of difference there between your purchase price for the note and what's owed to really still make a sizable return on your investment there for you. Let's see here. Cleon asked a question, what's the sales value on a reperformance if they got a 2% interest rate? Well, 2% interest rate, you're going to be selling, if you get 12 to 18 months of payments, you could get somewhere between 75 to 85% of value of what's owed on that. So as far as close to the market value. All right. This one is half of a duplex. Is that right, Mahmoud asked? I don't know. Is this half of a duplex or is the full?
Let me double check. Bear with me. I believe it's the full property, but let me verify. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,681 square feet.
Yeah. So it's a house.
Yeah, so it's a single family.
Reason I must think it's a duplex is just the front and the two entrances here where there's one little yard and everything like that. So.
Yeah. The one on the left with the grass and the walk up without the patio, I believe, is the one.
Yeah.
That's 125.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of twins little houses in those areas that are like this. Yeah. Pretty common. Yeah. Yeah, exactly right, John. The whole neighborhood is very similar to like this. Okay, awesome. Somebody who's wanted to stay, paid $5,000, is definitely be motivated to work something out that makes sense. Because market rent, obviously, is higher. So if you look at the spreadsheet, you'll see the market rent's on the last column of the spreadsheet, everybody, so you can kind of see your leverage a little bit. So moving on. This one in Bessemer, Alabama, 8217 Dickey Spring Road. It's a good-looking property. That's all for Purdy. This one, you've got a mod and trial payment plan approved already, huh? Is that right, Joel?
Yes, the TPP plan was approved and executed by the borrower on January 15th. The first payment came due and was paid on the 1st of February. So the second payment just came due on this one. The borrower themselves had been in bankruptcy, and before they exited the bankruptcy, they wanted to make sure that they had a modification in place because they wanted to stay in the property.
Cool. Okay.
And one of the things I think is always important to note, especially on a first, is, and it was interesting, I had conversations a lot about this weekend, is bankruptcy, if you're buying a first mortgage and you're buying that debt, or bankruptcy is your friend. To me, and this is a prime example of why, is because the borrowers in bankruptcy, they had to come correct, they had to communicate with us in order to stay in the property because of the bankruptcy dictated it. So it dictated as such. So therefore, we were able to have a nice dialogue with the borrower and get them on a TPP plan.
Yeah,
bankruptcy is your leverage.
Totally your leverage. I'm looking forward to yours and Daniel's presentation on bankruptcy at the next mastermind.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it again this afternoon. He's I guess, when you're an attorney, you get jazzed about this stuff because he was very excited.
Good stuff. Good stuff. BPO of $84,900. Purchase price of $58,000, everybody, which is at 68% investment to value. But you've definitely got somebody who's rock and roll and really wants to stay in the property, and definitely going to make some trial payment plans. Is the $750 a month is what their trial payment plan is?
That is correct.
Okay, cool. So if you figure that real fast, that's a pretty good little return there. $750 times 12 divided by 58. Yeah, that's a 15.5% cash and cash return there. If they're making 9 payments, you make 12 payments in a row on that based off of your $58,000 purchase price. That's a pretty good ROI. So, if you'd like to make a good ROI, everybody, let's get your bids in at $58,000 to Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. On Bessemer, Alabama here, everybody. Bessemer, Alabama. All right. Any other questions before we move on to this next asset? We'll move on here. The one in another area of the country we don't see that much stuff in is in Washington State. Longview, Washington, 1235 9th Avenue. This house there you go. Another trial payment plan that the borrower's completed. Is that correct, Joel?
That is correct. The trial payment plan was completed. We're in the process of doing a permanent mod. Quite frankly, we've kind of not put the permanent mod in place because selling it, we felt it was important to give the new owner of the asset the ability to dictate those terms. Awesome.
BP of 157, UPB of 142. They got some mergers behind it as well, so they owe more than the property's worth. You pick this asset up for 109, everybody, which is at 69% of investment to value, but you've got a really nice feature there as well at 905 a month. 905 times 12. Is that, even if you kept it at that, divide that by your 109. About a 10% yield on that, but you've got some flexibility of the payments to adjust the modification, something that's more suitable for you. Some flexibility there. Questions here. Cody, our resident Portlandian, says it's a very nice little town north of Portland. There you go. So maybe, Cody, you should make an offer of this and drive out, take a photo. It could be a whole subject of your next blog, your next great blog that you write on Sunday night. So
is that Cody from Trinity National?
It is Cody, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Cody Cox. As he says, cash cures all problems. Amen to that, brother. There you go. There could be a local asset to talk about in one of your deals there for you, Cody. But once again, guys, we'll make an offering on this one. Cody, just send your bid straight into Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com, everybody. Purchase price of $109 on this one. Okay? With a second payment or first payment made on, or they completed the trial payment plan.
They completed. They got 6 out of 6.
Right? And do you know off the top of head, hang on here. Give me a second here. I'll answer my own question here. Everybody up the spreadsheet up here. So this one is in Longview, Washington. Market rent rate is $600. So yeah, $905. That's not bad. Really good, actually. Plus the rearages, they got some rearages in there, so good. All right. Chris asked a question: if the borrower keeps up with the terms of their trial payment plan, aren't you committed to those terms as the new borrower or as the new lender? Well, it's a trial payment plan, Chris. You can change it. You haven't permanently modified anything yet, right, Joel?
That is correct. Yeah, that's the whole one of the other purposes of a trial payment plan is to have it temporary to make sure that they can make it. Then the permanent modification is subject to the completion of the trial payment plan.
Yeah. So it's just some flexibility to bump that number up as need be. We see that happen. Hey, we'll give you make some payments for a little while. For 6 months, let's talk about modifying to a number that may make more sense for us or for you. Okay? Let me go back through this one. Once again, guys, want to make an offering on this one, email Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. Purchase price of $109 on there at 69% investment of value. That's actually below because a lot of the assets we see in Washington, Oregon, California are going in the mid-70s. Would you agree to that, Joel?
Yeah, well, California is actually, I had a pool of California they wanted in the low 80s. I had a pool of Utah that was offered to me that they wanted in the mid-70s. So Western United States has a whole different pricing structure than the rest of the country.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Let's move on to the final asset tonight. This one in probably the fastest foreclosure time frame of any of the assets on here in Douglasville, Georgia. This one is a gorgeous-looking little house as well. Look at that tri-level. You got a deed in lieu negotiation on this one. I'm going to try to make it even faster than what it would be, huh, Joel?
Exactly. At first, the borrower was in bankruptcy. We had conversations with him, and quite frankly, he wanted to stay in the property. He just couldn't come up with the payments, so we pulled that off the table, and now we're moving forward with a deed in lieu and or foreclosure. I can tell you from experience that Georgia has a fast foreclosure process, just like Texas. It is it's a nice property. It's in a nice little area. It's a nice little house.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous little house. Yeah, definitely. UPB on this one's $113,000 and some change. Existing payment of $526.20. BPO at the $90,000 range. You can pick this up at $64,000 even, which is right at 71% investment of value. And the same with the Georgia, it's fast foreclosure. Same thing, deed in lieu. May not have to put hardly any work at all into this property to get it moved, especially if the borrower's willing to work with it. Correct, Joel?
Right. Yeah, and he's in the property.
He's in the property. So it's not trashed out. He's still living in there and in good right party contact with the guy. Do you know when you guys have put a final time frame as far as on the deed in lieu? Would you guys put a date for that to finalize that, figure that out?
I can check our system and take a look at it. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, no problem. But there's still a chance, really, if you guys be buying this, finishing the deed in lieu, turn around and selling it relatively fast, you could probably still pull in $25,000, or probably closer to $20,000 in profit at least, which is still a good 30% yield annualized. If you got this done in 6 months, that's a really slam dunk ROI. So something to keep in mind there, everybody. Questions about this one? Roy asked the question, where can I find the spreadsheet you're referring to? Check your email, Roy. Otherwise, drop me an email at scott@WeCloseNotes, and we'll be glad to email it out to you. Question, Garrison asks, how much does it cost to be registered to be able to buy notes in Georgia? You know that, Joel?
I don't. Please don't hold me to it, but I remember having the conversation. I believe it's like $750, but I could very well be wrong. So I don't want to say something that's not true.
Right. And that's what about a debt buyer's license in Illinois cost me, about $700 a year. So liens on this one. Well, James, if there were a lot of liens, I said they wouldn't be talking about a deed lien on this one because they pulled the title update. The O&E report would have ruled that out. Okay. All right. What other questions do you guys have? What other things can we help answer for you on that? We got another question. Do you have to be a licensed debt collector to purchase in Massachusetts?
You don't have to be a licensed debt collector in Massachusetts. We have to be licensed in order to work on your behalf, in which we are.
That's correct. You don't have to be Grant as long as you're having a servicer or somebody else help you out with that to take care of the servicing and the workout, stuff like that. You'll be covered. Okay? Thank you, Mark. Appreciate the kind words. Hey, we try to deliver good content every Monday night. That's why I own Monday night in the nut industry, everybody. What other questions can we help answer for you guys? That is the 11 of the 11th. All right? Any questions? I don't mind flipping back and forth to a few of these assets if you need questions answered. So while we're doing this, though, I'm going to pull the spreadsheet up for those that have that real fast. Just a quick walkthrough. You've got the estimated cutoff is when, I don't know, what's the estimated cutoff means? Just when the spreadsheet was originally pulled from the...
Yeah, when the data was originally pulled.
Right. There's no... Well, yeah, Mike, would have had to register for it. If I said before, if you dig into the spreadsheet, don't flip out. Just friggin' relax. Drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com, and I'll email you a copy of the spreadsheet, brother. All right? If you were registered for the Note Funding League, you would have gotten the spreadsheet earlier today. Anyway, Service ID, loan idea. The right party contact sons on here is basically if they've gotten right party contact, first lien. These are all first liens. Yes, they have the collateral. Borrower's name, co-borrower's name, social security number, property address, city, state, zip. Owner occupied, these are all primary residences. It gives you the status update as of February 17th. The loan purpose, it was either a refi cash out when the borrower purchased the asset or they purchased it or did a rate term. Property type is all single family. Original balance, original term. You can see there's some long terms in there. Original interest rates, the pay strings, their current interest rates on that, the next due dates, escrow balances. You can see some of these guys are pretty in the negative on the escrows. Corporate advances, lender doc type, don't have to worry about, loan type fixed. Current payment, total amount due, UPB, any deferred principal balance, which goes in towards their total payoff there. Recent BPO amount, most recent BPO dates, August. Strike pricing, percentage to BPO, property condition, and then the rest estimates. Now, I think we can all assume that most of these assets have gone up in the last 6 months, so their BPO numbers are a little conservative there for you guys, but keep that in mind. Don't come with a lowball offer. It's not worth even wasting your time if you're coming well below the purchase price and percentage they're looking for. Yes, Kathy, if you buy 4 or less, you should still pay the $750 to buy notes. Yes. What does the F mean in the pay string? It failed. Not paying on a regular basis. Okay? James, don't worry about document type. It doesn't mean anything. It would have, that would have meant CitiQuick was probably a quick approval with Citibank back in the day. Don't worry about document type. It has no bearing on the situation. That's when they would have financed or purchased it. So relax. Don't get all bent out of shape on the document type, brother. All right, what other questions can we help answer for you guys before we let Joel go back to his Monday night in California? Is there a long delay to become a debt buyer? 2 weeks later, some slower paper. I don't know, Eric. Every state's a little bit different. It's not that difficult. That's not going to stop you from being able to buy the note and finish the foreclosure. Okay? Any other final questions? Yes, this is being recorded. Yes, we'll have the replay out to everybody if you joined us late. Yes, drop me an email. As I said, if you drop me an email, we'll be glad to get you the list. Like I said before, if you join us late here, you do not blast this tape out. You do that, you will be blacklisted by everybody in the industry, and we'll make sure and see that myself. Only make an offer if you're a direct buyer. No joker brokers, no daisy chains. None of my brother's best friend's going to buy this asset. None of that horse shit. Okay? Okay. If you guys don't know what RPC stands for Right Party Contact, you need to take a class with Note Buying for Dummies. All right. For local realtors in these areas. I don't know. Joel, do you have a referral for local realtors in these areas? If you're doing some. Go ahead. Sorry, Joel, what was that again?
No, in some of the areas, obviously Illinois, we both know a very good realtor out there. I actually have a referral in the Indiana ones I could give you. I believe that there's someone in Georgia that I know. I'm not familiar with anybody up in Washington. What else? Massachusetts, I don't know of anybody off the top of my head. Doesn't mean that I couldn't, but I don't know of anybody. Louisiana, I believe we know somebody. So for a decent portion of them, we do have, we can put you in contact with a local realtor. Now, one of the things that I've done in the past is when I haven't been able to, if I didn't know anybody, I literally go on Zillow and I look at whose name comes up. Then I check them out via a website, and if they're legitimate and they're in the area of what I'm looking at and they want to specialize, I'll drop them a phone call. And sometimes I've gotten people who say, that's really not my area, but you really should call so-and-so. So give me a referral, and boom, now I have another local realtor.
There you go. Perfect. That, or you can jump on ActiveRain.com or Realtor.com as well, and for realtors in those specific areas.
Right.
David asks, can these be financed? Are you willing to carry financing on the note purchase?
But they can, but it wouldn't be by us.
Yeah. Now, you're not going to go out and get a loan for these. You're going to need cash, guys. Cash or money from a self-directed IRA. That's why you need to talk about with your partners, your marketing, raising capital, and stuff like that to make things happen. Okay? Bids are due by Wednesday at noon. Wednesday at noon. All right? Great. Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Loan purpose, guys, once again, don't get all bent on refi, cash out, refi, rate term is what that stands for, the loan purpose. That has no bearing. The only thing that has bearing on is initially when the loans were created. So, all right, we don't usually focus on assets every Monday night, everybody. We doing this a special thing because it's a small pool, about 11. A lot of times when we see larger pools tapes we roll out for the opening league, we'll do that roughly on a Wednesday or Thursday for you. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Good night. All right, everybody. Well, hey, once again, make sure and get your bids in. I'm going to pull up here the specifics on this so you guys can actually write this down. Get your bids into Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. Jennifer at WeCloseNotes.com. Yes, everybody, if you did not get the list, I will be glad to get that out to you here with the replay once I've uploaded the replay to everybody as well. So if that's all you've got to say, everybody, if there's nothing else, we'll let everybody get rock and rolling on this Monday night. Join us Wednesday night. We'll be breaking down another probably 20 assets as well, everybody.